Many teenagers and young adult kids carry a few labels that they strongly identify with, such as I'm an introverted kid, I'm an extroverted kid, I'm a party kid, I'm a nerdy kid, I'm a STEM kid, I'm a math kid, I'm a C student, I'm school dropout, I'm like a B student, so many other labels. Although those labels have definitely made communication and even decision making a lot easier, those labels have also tremendously hindered a young person's ability to grow and transform themselves, because those labels carry the idea that who you are is a fixed concept. You are going to become your labels. Your personality does not change. All of those ideas are incorrect, because we can change who we are, and we can make that change really intentional. We can become who we want to become. And that is exactly what we're going to discuss in this video. And I want to help you to demystify this idea that our personality is fixed. And I'm going to use insights and research from this book, one of my favorite books that I just finished reading, Personality is Not Permanent. And as you can see, I took pages of notes. I really love this book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And I will also share with you specific ways that you can apply to help your teenager or young adult kid break free from those labels that they have been carrying with them for such a long time, to truly unleash their potential and become unstoppable. And who am I to discuss this? Hello, in case we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. AI. I'm a former award-winning college professor turned life coach. I specialize in serving teenagers and young adults, helping them overcome a few major life challenges, such as lack of motivation, procrastination, lack of time management, organizational skills. I also help them overcome self-insecurity, self-doubt, to reclaim and elevate their confidence. I also help young people rediscover their directions, sense of purpose in life, so that they can have a purpose-driven life and make income impact, and fulfillment. And I have been working with young people for more than 2 decades. Because of the quality of my work and the number of lives that I have the great honor to serve and transform, my work has been featured in quite a number of major national and global media publications, such as Forbes, TED Talk, Glamour Magazine, Katie Couric Media, LinkedIn, Adobe, and Inside Higher Education, Pearson Education, and many other places. Working with young people is my calling. I genuinely love what I do. Okay, let's get started with today's topic. Personality is not permanent. Your kid is not their label. So we want to demystify this idea that you are who you are because of your past. So many people actually, in fact, a core argument made in this book is that our past is not the best predictor of our future. Let me repeat this one more time. Our past or your children's past is not the best predictor of their future. They can have an incredible past, awards, celebrations, amazing, but that doesn't mean their future is going to be amazing too. By the same token, maybe they didn't really have an amazing past, maybe even trauma, not the perfect academic performance, maybe even get him or herself into trouble, and that is okay, because the past is not the best predictor of the future. However, unfortunately, because so many people believe their past is the best predictor of their future, they literally treat the results of their personality assessment. There are so many personality tests, assessments, quizzes here and there. They literally treat the results of those personality assessments as if they were the Bible. They use those personality assessments to make decisions in the moment and regarding their future. What should they do? What should they avoid? This is a common pattern I see in so many young people in my coaching program, outside my coaching program. So let me give you an example. Many young people I work with, they will say that, hey, you know what, Dr. I'm introverted. How do they know they're introverted? Some of them did actually a few personality assessments, and some of them just heard this from their parents, from teachers, from their friends. So they believe that they are introverted. So instead of putting themselves into situations that can actually help them get out of their shells, that can actually help them expand into a more extroverted version of who they are, they literally avoid situations that will challenge, that will require them to step outside their comfort zone. Why? Because, hey, listen, I'm an introverted person. And so they are literally using their past to predict their future. Not even predict, to reinforce their past by selectively making decisions to reinforce who they were, as opposed to becoming who they can become by choosing different opportunities that will actually challenge who they were. I hope you are following me. And so many young people I work with, and they will, like, for example, a few young people I'm helping right now applying to jobs, because they have that label from a number of personality assessments, and they truly believe that is going to be who they are for the rest of their lives, even though that is incorrect. If they see themselves, okay, you know what, I'm an introverted person, therefore, I'm not going to apply to this job, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this internship, I'm not going to start this business, I'm not going to talk to a stranger, I'm not going to call someone to ask for an internship, I'm not going to reach out to anyone on LinkedIn, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, because I'm an introverted person. So they are really using their past to predict who they are going to become. They are really using their past to reinforce who they were in the past. So here, let me use this to share with you. And this is a chart that I use when I coach the students in my coaching program. So everybody, when you think about your future possibilities, all of us have three possibilities, right? So here, in the center, right, this is for most people, this is where you are today or where your kid is today. And this is a year from today, can be 3 years, 6 months, this one you can really change this. So here I have 12 months. So for most people, because they really pigeonhole themselves into a label. I'm an introverted kid, I'm a gifted student, I'm a STEM kid, I'm a math student, or I'm not a math student. So they really pigeonhole themselves into that label, and therefore they're always making decisions reinforcing the labels that they have already created or other people have created for themselves. And so this is the pattern. So the middle line here is the pattern for most people. This is who I am today. And me today, I have a number of labels. I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to make decisions based on this label, which was a result of all the things I did in the past, right? So using the past as a predictor of the future. So you become exactly who you are, right? And the saying that people actually, on LinkedIn a few days ago, I saw someone, actually he's quite a well-known influencer or thought leader. And he mentioned that children should not listen to advice from their parents, because their parents' generation is already like outdated, cannot be applied. Their advice cannot be applied to their children, which I definitely understand where that perspective comes from. Then I said something in the comment section. I said, with love, I completely disagree, because I stay relevant. I read news, I read books, I know what is actually happening, and I have invested so much money in my education, transformation, coaching, certifications, and I read a few books a month. And I believe because I stay so relevant, because I invest in my own education and learning, my advice to my own children, to my students, is highly relevant because I stay relevant. So I don't even remember why I bring this up. Okay, I hope the point will come back to me. Okay, so when you look at this, the three lines, so this middle line is for most people. They are using their past label to predict their future, and they are making the same decision. If they were an introverted person a year ago. They continue to make decisions that avoid challenging themselves. They continue to make decisions that avoid putting themselves into uncomfortable situations. Therefore, they stay on this line. A year from today, they are exactly introverted. Maybe they're even more introverted because they avoid situations that require them to practice the extroverted version of who they are. And on the other hand, this is me, right? That's why my advice is relevant. So this is me today. Every day, I make decisions, and I continue to invest in myself, invest in my growth. And then a year from today, there is going to be a gap, a positive gap, a good gap between where I will be a year from today versus where I'm today, because this is a very intentional change. Right? It's a very intentional process of me changing myself, becoming a better version of myself by making choices, not necessarily reinforcing my label, but challenge my label, break away from my label, right? So for example, when I was a college professor, I learned, how to teach classes, how to do research. I learned a number of skills, and I was a college professor for many, many years, actually 10 plus years. And, I taught hundreds of young people. And so after I quit my job as a college professor, I decided to start my business. And I only want to work with students. I want to break free from an institution where I have to listen to other people regarding how I want to design my curriculum. So right now in my coaching program, and I'm using the curriculum that I created, which is super powerful, helped so many young people have incredible transformation, literally change the trajectory of their lives from here to the green color line. And I'm really, really proud of that. In fact, almost all the young people, after they work with me, they will say something to me like, Dr. I, thank you for changing the trajectory of my life. So most young people here, either here or the red color, but working with me changed the trajectory, and which is really, really powerful. And so after I quit my job as a college professor, and I decided to do my business, work as a life coach, serving teenagers and young adults full time. But I have never started a business prior to this point. Therefore, I really had no idea, right? So if I used my past label, which was I was a college professor, I was not a business person. Therefore, if you were not a business person before, how could you run a business? It doesn't even make sense, right? So this again, who you are is not permanent. When I was a business professor, I don't really have to use the social media. I don't have to put myself out there. I can just be shy. I can just hide in my office, teach my classes, and coach and mingle with my hundreds of students. And that's it. I don't have to put myself on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on YouTube. I don't have to do a TEDx talk. I don't have to do media interviews. I don't have to do anything like that. But because with my business, right? So I'm more connected to a future goal. So with my life coaching, serving teenagers and young adults, and right now I have a really big, not just one, I have a number of big audacious goals for my business. For example, one of them is to serve 10,000 teenagers and young adults. And that is a big goal. And I served almost 3,000. So I still have 7,000 people I want to reach. So how can I do that? Therefore, I'm using my future goal as a tool to inspire me to make decisions in the present moment, as opposed to be so in love with my old label as being a college professor. Nobody has to know me, cannot hide in my school, hide in my office and do my work. Now I'm a lot more public, but that is not really my personality. My personality is a lot more private. If I don't have to run my business, I don't have to share this valuable content with you, I wouldn't. I would just hide, spend the time with my kids, with my husband, do things, read a book, which is really my favorite activity, which is to read a book, take a class, learn, and do some learning, right? Doing this is really outside my comfort zone, but that is how I grow. And so my future goal of serving 10,000 students literally pushed me to make decisions that are in alignment with the green color. As opposed to you're a professor or you were a professor, you like the shy version of me, But the goal has to ask for a different version of me to show up in life. And that's why I always, when I coach the young people in my coaching program, I always tell them, you cannot only do how you feel. You really have to do what the goal requires you to do, right? So you are using that future as a tool to make decisions in the moment, as a tool to change who you are, right? So me using my future, my vision, my mission of serving 10,000 students is literally changing who I am, making me at least a lot more public, a lot more extroverted than my true, authentic self, because I'm doing what the goal requires me to do. Therefore, I have grown so much. A few years ago, if you ask me, like 10 years ago, I wouldn't believe that I would be able to do a TED Talk. A few years ago, if you ask me, I wouldn't believe that I would be doing a keynote presentation to hundreds of top-tier educators from all over the globe. I wouldn't believe that. Right? So the goal, that future, not my old personality, not my old label of being a college professor, but that future goal is helping me become a better version of myself. Therefore, I have changed who I am on a big scale, right? And so this is me. And even something I'm really proud of myself is that my old graduate school friends, even high school, college, or primary school friends, when they see me, they're always so surprised. They're like, wow, you have changed a lot. Like I'm just like, thank you so much for noticing my change. And I worked really hard on changing myself. And so, yeah. But unfortunately, for most people, they stay on this color, right? They stay on this purple color and can be a year or 10 years or for the rest of their life. And then they call, it's just who I am. This is my fate. This is my identity. This is who I am. But like at the beginning of this video, I shared with you like a really powerful way to break free from a label that you have carried with you for so many years is that you want to use a future goal and tap into that future goal to make decisions in the present moment regarding how you should act, how you should think, and how you should feel, as opposed to using the past label to predict how you should act, feel, and think. And the third trajectory is that, I feel like for most people it's like it's like the middle line. But however, and if you decide to not even like to do things at a lower level, your life trajectory is going to become worse, right? So imagine if you spend your kid like 2 hours a day on social media playing video games, and they decide one day, hey, I'm just going to spend 5 hours a day. So they are literally like, that is going to change their life trajectory in a negative way, right? So yeah, and this is a really powerful chart. And something I ask my students that if you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep receiving the same result. And this is why we have this popular belief or conventional belief that personality is fixed, personality doesn't change, because most people do not change. Because it's not because most people do not change, it's most people are so in love with their label, they're intentionally avoiding situations that require them to change. Therefore, they don't have to change. So you have to put yourself into a situation like me, right? From used to be a college professor, now I run my own coaching business, which I really love. So this new situation is absolutely requiring me to become a different version of myself. Therefore, I have changed a lot. So instead of only selecting situations to reinforce my label, I'm selecting situations and I'm choosing situations that challenge my label, break my label, and helping me and expand my label and helping me become a way better version of myself, my personality, my speaking, my courage, my risk-taking, and so many other things have changed so much as a result of having my future as a tool to facilitate my decision-making and who I'm going to become, as opposed to using my past or the labels that I developed from the past actions, events, experiences, and using those labels to perpetuate who I used to be. There is a big difference. So for your kid, right? So here is my advice. If they are here. So this is why, like, you should definitely check out this video that I discuss the real reason that a young person is not motivated. It's now they're like, definitely check it out. So the real reason they're not motivated is not because they really have a procrastination crisis. It's really because they have a future clarity crisis. They do not have that sense of future clarity. So once you help your kid, you or someone like me can help your kid discover their future clarity, right? Hey, this is where I am now. If I keep doing the same thing, I will become my label. Right? This is the case. My personality is permanent. My personality is fixed. If I keep doing the same thing a year from today, 2 years, 5, 10, a decade, 2 decades later, I will be exactly who I am. But as we just discussed, that is incorrect. So a better way is that, okay, I actually I'm going to challenge my label. And I'm going to select a goal that is going to put me outside my comfort zone. And I'm going to use this goal to inspire me to become a different person, to make different decisions, to have a different set of beliefs regarding things in life. Therefore, I'm going to be on this green color trajectory, and therefore I'm going to change who I am. Therefore, I can break free from the labels that I have accumulated over the past. And I hope this is as powerful to you as powerful to me. And this is really my biggest takeaway from this book. That is, your past is not the best predictor of your future. It is only the best predictor if you don't change. If you keep doing the same thing, and you are going to be exactly the same. That is 99% of the population. But not you, because you are watching this video, not your kid, because you are going to share the ideas with your kid. And because if you can choose a goal that is so different from who you used to be, this new goal is going to inspire you, is going to expand who you are, is going to help you get rid of your old labels and develop new labels regarding who you are and your potential. And this is why, in my coaching program, a big part of what I do is to really help a young person identify that future goal and help them be more in love with that future goal, as opposed to be so stuck in the past. So many young people, they are absolutely stuck in their past, and whatever traumatic or dramatic experience they have had that helped them develop that label, they're very much stuck in their past. Therefore, they continue to make decisions reinforcing those labels, as opposed to choosing a different, way better situation that help them expand their identity, expand who they are, expand their potential, and destroy those old labels. And if you are interested in having your kid work with me one-on-one to help them overcome some of those major life challenges, help them unleash their potential, become truly unstoppable, and help them discover what is their future, what is a future for them that they can fall in love with, which in return can help them get rid of the old label. If you want to have your kid work with me one-on-one regarding some of their major life challenges, procrastination, confidence, lack of future direction, I highly recommend you use the link in the description box and book a one-on-one complimentary consultation with me. I'll be the person reviewing your application. And if your application is approved, you and I will have a one-on-one Zoom chat. On the Zoom chat, I will listen to you telling me about your teenager or young adults' specific challenges and give you customized feedback and tell you a little bit more about my coaching program. Okay, and I'm also excited to share with you, for a very limited amount of time, I'm offering a 5-day one-on-one free challenge with me. So you and your kid will spend 5 days with me one-on-one for free regarding a specific challenge facing your kid. And it has been absolutely incredible experience. Quite a few families have taken advantage of this, and I really love getting to know many of you and helping you and your kid experience immediate transformation information in the 5-day period. So the biggest highlight of the 5-day challenge is that I will customize the training content based on the unique challenge of your kid. This is so different from 10 people live masterclass or 20 people or hundreds of people. This is a really intimate one-on-one, completely tailored to your need and your children's need. Okay, so definitely take advantage of this if you haven't done so already, especially if you feel like you really resonate with my content, you love what I do, would love to help your kid overcome their challenges and turn their challenges into character building, resilience building, and help them become a better version of who they are. Thank you so much. Last but not least, definitely check out this video. This video I discussed, which I mentioned earlier. And so check out this video. I think you will really love it. And thank you so much for your support. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Bye.